people on here, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm Kerrigan, the BEST program coordinator with the Ohio BEST program, and we have Lindy Southerly that's on here with us, and also Lindsay Hall, and they are both the junior show co-chairs for the Ohio Beef Expo. Those of you that have been to the expo before, the stalling is going to run pretty much parallel, similar to how it is ran in the past. Just a few changes for this year. And this is being recorded, so those that have missed this can go and watch it at a later point in time when they are able. So the first thing I wanted to just go over is the overview of what's happening for this year. So we're lowering the minimum of the opening bid for the viaduct bays, the reduction in spots being sold in Gilligan to increase the availability of free stalling options for individuals, some VIP parking spots for both trucks and trailers, a cash refund if the horse stalls are left as you found them at the beginning of the weekend, and we'll get into more detail on that in a little bit later. And then also opportunity to sponsor some premier awards, get your business and brand seen by all of us here in the state of Ohio and beyond. As I said, this is being recorded, so those who missed it can go back and watch, and once it's the recording is final, I'll go ahead and get that posted online for everyone. And then there will also be a question and answer period at the end of this for all questions that anybody may have. So the online auction for stalling will take place on Wednesday, next Wednesday, February 22nd, on Show Circuit Online Sales. And this is mainly obviously a junior show fundraiser for the junior show for Ohio Beef Expo, and a way for people to secure some stalling that are interested in paying for it ahead of time. So the first option we have will allow exhibitors to bid on those remaining viaduct bays that are left after all the breed cattle and the best sponsors get their viaducts. We have a limited number available, and we don't know for sure that that number is 100% yet, as you know, numbers are still coming in at this point. And then we're also going to be selling stalls in Gilligan, not to exceed 25% of that barn. So that way, like I said, we can leave a lot of those stalls up for free for those people that decide not to stall ahead of time, or they can buy stalls in blocks in the horse barn at a fixed rate, similar to how we sold them last year. Mainly, this option is not required. It's solely up to your discretion whether or not you choose to purchase pre-stalling or not for the Ohio Beef Expo. But you know, your chances of getting exactly where you want to be, you know, become slimmer, you know, whether you choose option 2 or 3 moving on. And then, like I said, the auction will be held on Show Circuit on February 22nd. So like I said, the 3 options are the viaduct bays, which is a limited number, and those viaduct bays need to hold up to 10 cattle, no mulch provided. The horse barn stalling, they're sold in lots of 3, and that is at 3 stalls, and then obviously the stall across the aisle, similar to Clark County. Those are being sold at $450 for the lot of 3. And then, like I said a little bit ago, if you put the stalls back to how they were found, then you'll get $150 cash back there at the expo for the refund on the stalls. So essentially, you know, you put the stalls back to how they were found, and that $150 will be given back to you in cash. And that is leaving them at the same price as what they were last year at $100 a stall. Mulch is provided in those, and the mulch will be in the center aisle like it was last year, and then you'll have to scoop that mulch into whichever side you so choose to stall in. And then we are also selling the 1st through the 10th pick of the Gilligan barn, and that will be on auction, each one in a different lot. So the viaduct stalling, there is, like I said, a limited number of those viaducts. Mulch is not provided in the viaducts, and then they're sold with the expectation that there is a minimum number of 10 head in them per bay. The starting bid on those viaducts is going to start at $800. In the past, it's been higher than that. But our main goal this year was to obviously lower costs for you guys, and come up with something, an easier way for you guys to stall, in those viaducts and try and go together, to get 10 head in a bay. The Gilligan barn stalling. So like I said, there will be 10 picks of the barn on bid. Those are lots 10 through 19 listed in the sale. And that if you purchase, say, lot 10, which is the first pick of the Gilligan barn, that would include up to 10 stalls. Now you are able to double your bid and get up to 20 stalls. So if you bid for 10 stalls at $500, double your bid for $1,000 to get 20 stalls. And that information would come directly to me, so that way we can ensure payment is taken correctly, and then I get you the correct amount allotted for stalls. Horse barn stalling, like I said, they'll be sold in lots of 3 in a consecutive order. The official stall numbers will be assigned upon your arrival at the fairgrounds. The horse stalls must be put back to how they were found in order to receive that deposit from when you purchased, and then no refunds will be issued after the completion of the Ohio Beef Expo. So you can't call us a couple days later and say, hey, I put my stalls back together. Can I get my, deposit back? And then you also do get the stalls directly across the aisle from you, same as how it works at Clark County. And then the mulch is provided in those horse stalls. So if you think about it, it's like you're getting $50 back per stall as long as you put the stalls back to how they were found. There's some other lots in the sale that we have available, and those being some VIP parking spots between Gilligan and Cooper Arena along the grass there. There's a couple VIP parking spots in front of Voinovich, and then there are also a few trailer spots available along 17th Avenue, right at the end of that horse barn when you come in off of 17th from the campground. We're going to offer a few of those in the online auction also, because all other trailers will have to be parked north of 17th, where they're always parked in the campground, where State Fair has the campground at. So those are just a few additional incentives for people if they would like to purchase those in the online auction. The next one would be purchasing the 35th annual Ohio Beef Expo backdrop. So this would be you getting to take home that backdrop at the end of the show. 35th is a pretty big deal for Ohio Beef Expo. So if that's something you're interested, that's going to be up for auction on the online sale also. Some other lots that are available would be top 10 banners for market animals and heifers. And those are available at a starting bid of $100. And then we also have the bronze, silver, and gold sponsorships available on there. Those are normal Ohio Beef Expo sponsorships that are available in the online auction. And then we also have the junior show broadcast sponsor, and that's at $2,000 on the online auction also. Moving into option 2, so like in years past, beginning March 8th and ending March 10th, anyone that did not purchase stalls in the online sale will be able to go online and select their top 3 stalling preferences in Gilligan. The same form that was filled out last year, so you're going to pick your top 3 options. It'll be timestamped, so those that fill it in first with their top option, I'll move on down through the list and go through that. You still can stall in groups or individually. Just if you stall in a group, I need to get all of those exhibitors' names emailed to me so I know who is all stalling together. And then, like I said, everything will be time-stamped, so submissions will get their first choice according to when the form was submitted online. No additional cost for these spaces in Gilligan building. And the link will be posted online at 12 a.m. on March 8th and be live through March 10th, and then be shut off after that point. Option 3 is the last option, and you can just stall when you get to the fairgrounds. And this will allow anyone to stall in any remaining spaces in the Gilligan building at no additional cost. So if there's, we want to keep anyone, that purchase stalls in the horse barn, we're not using that as overflow this year. All the overflow will be used in the Gilligan building. Just wanted to leave a quick note of volunteer options. We're welcoming any and all help at Ohio Beef Expo. So some logistics, check-in, loading and unloading trailers, etc. We're looking to plan through a new arrival plan for everyone that's coming to Ohio Beef Expo. So if you know of any like college students or FFA groups or 4-H groups or adult volunteers that may be interested in helping, reach out to myself, Lindsay, or just the general cattle at ohiocattle.org and discuss that. OCA will make our appropriate donations to those student organizations. And then adult volunteers, we will appropriate that donation to your County Cattlemen's Association. There is a deadline to sign up, and that's Monday, March 6th. And if you have any questions about any volunteer options, I'd be happy to answer those, or Lindsay would be happy also. There will be a follow-up Zoom meeting on Wednesday, March 1st, and that will basically be explaining the arrival to Ohio Beef Expo, any lingering information about the trade show, breeds information. It's basically going to kind of be a Zoom to wrap up everything before everyone arrives this year, just to kind of give you a heads up on anything else that may be happening. So at this point, we have any questions, you can type your question in the Q&A box, and I'll be happy to answer those, or Lindsay will be happy to answer those. Our phone numbers are listed here if you have any specific questions, and or if you're going to be at the show at Holmes County. I will make myself available Saturday, March 4th and Sunday the 5th, both at 7:30 in the show ring, if you have any additional questions about any stalling or expo information. Lindsay, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, thanks, Kerrigan. That was great. And that was a great info and details on all of the stalling and the online sale information. And we just want to welcome everybody and get everyone excited about coming to the expo. And we sure appreciate all the support, and we look forward to hosting you in Columbus. And all of the money from the sale, as Kerrigan said, goes back to the junior show and goes back to the kids and the youth in the show there. So we have a lot of fun new things planned for the 35th Expo. So stay tuned for details on more of that to come. And we just looking forward to working with the families and making it a great family fun event and hosting y'all. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. And I can see a question here that Eric has asked for the horse stalls. You get 3 and then 3 on the other side. So yes, it includes 3 on the one side and 3 on the other side of the aisle. Correct.
We'll leave it open for a few minutes here for anyone that has any questions. Our numbers are still posted here if you have anything, so feel free to reach out, but we'll leave it open for a few more minutes here. And Lindy and I can answer those questions live, or we can answer them. Sam Alderman asked, how much was the starting bid for the Gilligan stalls again? So that's $500 is the starting bid, and that's for, you know, first pick, second pick, all the way through your 10th pick of the barn. The next one is anonymous. Horse stalls are assigned upon arrival. Yes, that's correct. All horse stalls are assigned upon arrival. And then arrival animals can start coming Wednesday morning, starting at 7:30. That doesn't mean you have to bring them then at 7:30, but that would be, if you choose to come Wednesday morning, then, you can just bring your tack if you would like, or both your animals and your tack. And then another question was, is there handicap parking for families traveling with children with special needs? There is handicap parking available in front of the Viedo building. And that's kind of a central location there in front of the Viedo building. But that's the only handicap parking that I know of that's there on the fairgrounds. Are pens able to be built in the viaduct? Yes, as long as you can get 10 head in there and you can, consolidate everything into your viaduct, that's fine. You have to make sure everything stays behind that. Can't remember if the color is blue or white line there on the ground, but you got to make sure that, you keep everything in there if you do get a viaduct and it has to have 10 head. Can we arrive Wednesday for first come, first serve? Yes. 7:30 Wednesday morning, people can start arriving. If you wait to submit your top 3 choices, does it only include the cattle side of Gilligan, or does it include the horse stall side too? So when you submit your top 3 choices, it is only going to include the Gilligan building. And we are only stalling the Gilligan building as free, and not using the horse stalls as our overflow.
And Kerrigan, just to reiterate, the horse stalls are click to claim and they can be purchased, and those are while supplies last on the horse stalls. So that's actually click and claim. You're not bidding on those stalls, just so everyone is aware. And I would say on the handicap parking, if that is a need that someone has, please reach out to us and we will certainly try to accommodate you. So please just reach out and we can discuss that further.
When do the horse stalls become available for purchase? That becomes available on the online. The horse stalls become available on the online auction on the 22nd. And like Lindsay said, those are the click to claim stalls on the online auction.
And that opens at 8 a.m., I believe.
Yes.
Kerrigan.
Yep. 8
For the
o'clock.
horse stalls on the click to claim. The bidding will start to close at 8 p.m. on the 22nd.
Another question, if you arrive and Gilligan is full, where will the first come, first serve go? Our hope is that the Gilligan will not be full for all of our first come, first serve stalling. And we will find a place for you to go at that point. Our plan is just to not use the overflow in the horse barn. We'll leave it open for a couple more minutes here if anyone has any other questions. Question here, does mulch have to be pitched back out of the horse stalls? No, we have a group of individuals that's coming to do that, to clean the horse stalls out. It's mainly just getting them put back together.
And when she says put back together, so if you break those horse stalls from square, you have to put those back to square. So if that means pushing mulch out of the way, then yes, you do need to push the mulch out of the way to get that stall back to square and get your pins back in. And we will have folks going through the barn, going back there before you get your refund. They will check that you do have everything put back the way it's needed to be before you get your refund. Another thought I just had on the click to claim, that payment is due by March 1st, and it is credit card or e-check on those click to claim, which would be the horse stalls.
Another question here, what is the cheapest stalling for purchase? Would be the horse stalls for purchase. And those would be at that $150 per stall, which would be the $450 for those blocks of 3, getting $50 back per stall. So it ends up being $300 for 3 horse stalls with the stall across the aisle. Everything else is on bid, so that would be the minimum that you would spend, would be that $450 for 3 horse stalls.
And the bidding obviously that will be what it'll be, that we're unsure what that will be, that's yet to be determined. But there's also the free options that we mentioned earlier, as far as those requests that you can send in to Kerrigan on the stalling form, or stall when you get there.
Another question, are the horse stalls online also? Anisha, I'm gonna let you talk so you can clarify that question a little more. You'll just have to unmute yourself.
I guess I'm kind of confused. I mean, so if I wanted to be in the horse barn, do I go online or do I do this click to claim?
It's the same thing. So you'll go
okay.
online on the online auction and it's click to claim.
Okay, so I have to, if I want a horse stall, I bid online.
You don't bid, you can just click it and you buy it, but it's on the sale. You have to do it on that 22nd. So you're not bidding on it. You're not like submitting a bid. You are actually buying it. You're clicking it and you're buying it at that point on the 22nd.
And then I come Wednesday at 7:30 and get in line. And then that's when I decide where I'm going to be, right?
Yeah, so anyone that purchases any of those horse stalls, I will kind of like pre-stall you per se in a document, so that way I just know at least how many we've used or how many have been purchased. But yes, if you come, that Saturday morning at 7:30, or not Saturday morning, Wednesday morning at 7:30, then you'll claim, your spot there in the horse barn.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Another question, how do we claim free stalling with Kiergan? The free stalling is that link that opens up the 8th through the 10th. And you submit that form online and you'll be stalled accordingly per your 3 choices that you select. Another question we have here, if we have multiple families that usually stall together, can we do that with the horse stalls? Yes. Yeah, you can stall together. It would just be, you know, allotting the correct amount of purchased horse stalls online. I think the average last year was like 2 to 3 head per stall. But you'll have to, you know, judge that with however, for people, so that way, you know, you ensure you have the correct amount of stalls for that group. And then, like I said, if you purchase stalls for a group, I will need that list of names so I can ensure that, you know, everybody is there, you know, in that group together. And I'll contact you after the sale to double check those questions and get answers.
But Kerrigan, they don't need to arrive all together to stall together, correct?
Correct. Correct, yes. And Amy, if that doesn't answer your question, you can reach out. And there's another question on here. Can cattle arrive Thursday evening, or is it preferred that they are there Wednesday? Cattle can arrive Thursday evening. You just need to look at the check-in schedule to be sure that that's going to work for you. So there is a check-in on Thursday, a short window of check-ins on Friday, and a short window of check-ins on Saturday. So the longest check-in is from 4 to 8 on Thursday. So it's up to you whether you come Thursday or Wednesday. So someone also asked, do you have to buy the stalls in lots of 3? What if you don't need all 3 stalls? So the reason they're sold in lots of 3 is because of the electric and how the electric is ran in that building. There's electrical outlets on every 3rd horse stall. So with that being said, if you only need 1, then, you know, I would suggest getting with a group of individuals or something like that to see if there's a way that, you know, you guys can split that up if you only need 1 horse stall per se. Does anyone else have any lingering questions? Our phone numbers are still listed there on the screen. Like I said, this was being recorded, so I'll go ahead and get that posted once the recording is final. Will the electric, oh, there's another question here. So it says, will the electric in the horse barn support a double blower, or is a generator needed? I don't know. Is there anyone on the call that was in the horse barn last year? I don't know that answer specifically. I want to say there's 3 receptacles per every 3rd horse stall. So I would say that you can probably plug 1 blower into each receptacle, but I do know quite a few individuals that were in the horse barn also had generators sitting outside the barn. So I think that's ultimately up to you, but I would just come prepared either way. Oh, Andy Warner just commented on here and said you will need a generator. Thanks. Okay, if no one else has any questions, we're gonna go ahead and end this. Like I said, our phone numbers are there, so if you have any questions, reach out to one of us. Lindy, do you have any closing comments? Oh, there's another question. Just for clarification, if you buy click to claim stalls, you can send me a list of group of people to put together. Yes, that is correct.
No, I don't think I have anything else, Kerrigan. Thanks Paul for getting on this call with us, and be sure to look for that meeting there on the 1st, and we'll have some more updates for you on some fun things that we have planned. And yeah, we look forward to having y'all. Thank you.